them jump out and them say all 4 pan in the belly. When they look, them shoot the youth 4 times. One look at 17-year-old. Him not do nothing.
This make me feel traumatized, cause a simple game him wanna play and they go shot him for no reason. This can happen to anybody. It could happen to anybody.
Do you know him well?
Yes, I know him well. Me and him grew. Me and him on the grow. Them man is not them type of people. The man ever depend him game. Never a good youth. Never push badness yet. From me know never push badness yet. From me know him.
Welcome to True Jamaica Buzz, news and entertainment with a buzz. The edited version of the video that you just saw is of an incident that took place in a Brayton. Brayton is in Portmore, where it is confirmed a little youth said to be 15 cannot confirm his age. Now that he is gone, was taken out. Based on what the residents are saying, the youths were playing a game of domino when police pull up and all hell broke loose. However, you know the story by the police. Them pull up on the scene, came under fire, returned like fire after the smoke cleared. One individual, a youth, was seen clutching on to a tool, clutching on to his life. I will speak about this cliche script later on in this news. Now, people, if you look at the screen, this is the picture of the youth that allegedly lost his life. See him in a better times when he was actually alive. However, you notice him have a gun finger. Well, people, you know, say in a Jamaica, we highlight, or they highlight, glorify the gang culture, bad man culture. So it means absolutely nothing. Everybody wants to be a gangster, even if they are capping. But it does not look good on your resume when you lose your life and police say you can't up half of them. Not to say that he did, but me just say. Well, people, there are several more videos with persons expressing their feelings as to the actual extrajudicial takeaway of this young youth and putting down on the floor of his other cumblers. So, people, I want you to take a listen, take a look to some of the edited versions of some of the videos during the protest, after the protest, before the protest, and then I'll give my piece.
Oh, police will come here, yeah. That's smart, police.
No, they might pass and see boy them. So they can. They might pass and see them. See them.
Come in. Nobody go man. Come, nobody go there. Come.
Who never black off? Who never black? Let me tell you, man. Everybody attack the same thing. Somebody not tell a lie. If you see to the owner, you can talk it. You understand me gang it out? Me not talk nothing. Oi, who are we attack? You them are innocent youth. I look at you, them sit down and play games every day. Them youth, they not do nothing. Alright.
And now you want to break a little nephew. You don't know?
So people, like I've always said, there are always 3 sides to the story. The resident side, obviously, that you cannot talk because dead man tells no tale. And then the police side. Listen to the news, did not hear the police respond to it, did not hear them say them come under fire or nothing. They are mum, they are mute. So we know, like them say, silence means something might have go on and something is controversial. Now, people, here's the thing. Me as a blogger are probably one of the only blogger that is not a police tete. I've said it all along and I've always stick to what I say. Yes, Most of the police in the JCF are good. However, some, I am not going to say a minority because it's too much. It is probably less than 50%. Don't know how much. But even the ones that are not rogue, even the ones that were not a part of any sorts of controversial, questionable, extrajudicial takeaway of young youths, they are willing to facilitate the cover up, the corruption, the course of justice in most cases. And this includes your prime minister, your commissioner, your security, your justice minister. All of them failed to give justice in cases where an error, a fatal error, was made. They would rather claim that the person have a tool, supply that tool, and that the person blaze up some can upon them and the person run and them come in a confrontation. People, it has been quite obvious that this has been going on. Jamaica and specifically JCF and JDF are known internationally for carrying out acts that are not justified. It is not a secret, it is out there plain as day that everybody have seen. But because Jamaicans have become so desperate and want to get rid of the criminal elements and everybody wants that, however, you cannot take out innocent people in a quest to take out the bad people. And people, based on the fact that they have not said anything, I am going to assume that some sorts of error was made and it was covered up. And based on videos that I cannot show because of YouTube's policy, you could see 4 young men laying on the ground, 3 other young men laying on the ground, and one specific one, the one that got caught up. He was pretty much drenched in his own red. You know exactly what I am speaking about. He was gasping for his last breath. He was shaking. He was tossing and turning. More than likely, based on the severities of his injuries, he was not going to make it. And such is the case. People, it is a very sad state of affair. And you people, including some of you bloggers that are facilitators and encouraging these rogue police to carry out their act, the blood is also on your shoulder. Point blank and period. Thing that is popping in the news, it is called the good that you do, it follows you. The bad that you do, it haunts you. Especially when you are a TikToker, especially when you're on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and disrespecting people in the likes of persons that are serious in the likes of Squash, World Dog, and other individuals that are gang related. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. We saw that Blamm them was hot on social media, trending all over TikTok. He was the hot topic. And while he had the spotlight, he was dissing a whole bunch of people, sending out all sorts of death threats, exposing information that would be criminal in intent. We say Squash get locked up. We say Squash went to immigration, transferred to the state, transferred to the feds. We see that things are getting progressively worse for Squash. It looked like them are going to cook him goose. So not only Squash, other persons that Blamm them have been dissing. It seems as if all those diss, they came back and they are now haunting him. And people are sending him all sorts of death threats. So he went and he made a post and he is saying that he is so paranoid right now. However, he is not going to be caught slipping. So I want you to take a look at exactly what Blamm them has to say as it pertains to all these death threats that he has been getting. And then I'll give my piece.
So, you can't catch me. Can't first thing. If one of my friends them call me something, I can't please set them and set me up. So, you don't catch me. I'm mad at me, please set me up. Much as say, you can't catch me a blood clot. No. When I'm going to say, all right, I'm Blamm them that. We can't hold him. And I'm just calling you there. Every time we can suck out to no more. Now, you can't look about it. What about it, eh? Oh, no, catch me. Tell me now. When me tell you if you go suck out to no more. Oh, no, catch me. Tell me now. Eh? You don't catch me, I drive out. That works with that car. When I'm shooting that car, shut this out. You know, go through car, car will go. You don't catch me, I'm mad. You know, time I go mad, I'm mad dog, I'm mad. Beat them at it. You don't catch me. You don't use one girl to set me up. You know, I ask for this girl flying. You want that girl to text them and answer them, come afraid. When I answer them, come here saying, set them and set me up, sound too good to be true. So you can't catch me. When I will suck out to no man, take one again. And time I tell you, I suck out to no man. No, I'm not hungry. I can't trick me money. I do trading. Rich out at trading.
So, people, like I've always said, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. If you mess with people and you expose people, and you know that your slate is not clean either, and you know that these people will actually take you away, they're just waiting for the given opportunity to name your food. Blamm them is no fool. Blamm them is streetwise. Blamm them is fully aware of the stuff that he says, even though he might be capping. He knows that for every action, especially when you are this a bad man, it can come back and haunt you in a very fatal way. So we see say in paranoid, he is making it be known that, listen, me not trust no friend, me not trust no woman, me not trust not even my own mother. So therefore, they are not going to catch me slipping. And people, the sad reality is that there's a thing that is called karma. Karma always catches up to you. Karma does not have an expiration date, and karma could be in the sense of your enemies, your ops, or even the people that are tasked to keep people safe and secure, meaning immigration, meaning the feds, meaning the state, meaning the popo. Sooner or later, based on the trajectory that we see Blamm them acting up, it is only a matter of time that karma or justice or revenge is going to be served. Sometimes that soup is not served hot, it is served cold. When you are chilling and relaxing and least expected, that is when it pounces on you and it shocks and awes you. Is that going to be the case as it pertains to Blamm them? If you ask me, I think so. Point blank and period. Now, people, it seems as if Portmore is pretty hot. Because not only the shooting that occurred as it pertains to the police taken away unjustly, allegedly, that 15-year-old youth are teenager. It seems as if there was also a next shooting. In the case of the police, we realized that 3 men was seen face down. 1 man was tossing and turning, gasping at his last breath. Well, people, it seems as if in a Portmore, once again, in a place named the Palms of Portmore, supposed to be a gated community, it is said that 3 or 4 men were walking when they were approached by a man or a group of men who blaze them up, take for themselves. When the police reached on the scene, 1 man was fatal, taken out, sent to the afterlife. The other 4 was obviously rushed to the hospital. Based on the police investigation, it is said that they found multiple spent casing of high-powered rifle. Now, people, this is supposed to be a gated community, but you and I know that in a lot of these gated community, a lot of choppers are there renting places because them feel as if it's a safe haven. So them things that nobody now gonna get them, but the truth and the fact is that a lot of these gated community, them have a liquor wall, them have a liquor border that people can screech across the border and come and end them life. Well, people, it seems as if that is the case in this case. Like me said, it is a bit confusing. 4 people, 3 people on the ground as it pertains to the police taking out that youth, and then again 4 people. So it seems as if 4 is a very unlucky number. In those 4 persons with the police, 1 person lost his life. In the last 4 persons in the Palms of Portmore, 1 person lost his life. So 1 out of 4, 1/4 of the persons that were there in both cases did not make it. So the next thing that is popping in the news, it seems as if the police is on a rampage for wanted men, gangsters. I am speaking about 3 unfortunate incident that took place in a Westmoreland. Well, not unfortunate if you are a criminal. Where it is confirmed that 4 persons lost their life. First one, Keno Plummer. Next 2, Jaden and Jordan Love. They are from Bethel Town. The next one, Terrico Hale. Hale send people go to jail. Hale send people go to the graveyard. Based on the information, it is said that a young man known as Keno Plummer, he was wanted for the takeaway of his own father. He riddled his father's body with bullet and then fling him father's body in the bushes. Based on the information from the police, it is said that he was also the suspect in an incident that took place as late as June 2025, where him stick up a vehicle with a policeman. That policeman that was in that vehicle wheel and pop off and blaze up some can upon him. Based on the information, it is said that he was struck. Unfortunately, he did not lose his life, but he did not stop there. Them finally catch him and them finally pronounce him. Finally sent him to the afterlife after he was wanted. So based on the information, he was a suspect in riddling his father's body with bullet and then dumping his father in a key in peace. The trail of criminality continued. Armed robbery on the 7th of June. Police pipe him up, him get struck. However, this time, 3 strikes and he was out. A couple of hours prior to that, in Bethel town, 22 and 23-year-old Jaden and Jordan Love, based on the police, they are a part of a criminal organization. They went to serve a warrant of you-know-what. However, the police came under fire. When the police come under fire, you know the cliche script, return like fire. After the smoke clear, the 2 brothers were seen getting no love. Love was lost to the afterlife. It is said that while on that same operation, the police saw a man or 2 men on bike. The police signaled them to stop. Them blaze. There was a chase. The men jump off the bike, bust up some can upon the police, running a key in peace. The police send some fire in the key in peace and blaze them up. Afterwards, they found 1 man clutching on to his life. However, he was rushed to the hospital, Turkarus style. He did not make it. Too late was the call. So 4 people. Mr. Keno Plummer, Mr. Jaden and Jordan Love got no love, and Mr. Terrico Hale. All sorts of shot hail upon them. And again, surprise, surprise, surprise. A tale of 2 halves. The side or the story from the residents, these youths are innocent and they were taken out in cold, you know what. The police said that they are gang members of a reputed gang. So therefore, they went with the warrant, and that warrant of death was signed and sealed. They were sent to the afterlife, point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news is based off a conversation that I have had with a lot of persons that are in law enforcement working at the courts, law enforcement overseas internationally. And they must say, boy, you ever beat the police them bad when you talk about the cliche script, which is a script whenever the police come under fire after them go on a warrant to take out somebody, and then them return like fire, and then after the smoke clear, the person is seen clutching on to a tool, clutching on to their life. But sometimes the story just don't sound right, and I am not saying that in most cases it is not true. The people them take on the police. But in some cases, a lot of report that is filed, and this is based on documentation in a lot of court report that is filed by the police, in which these cases go to the courts and you have an average lawyer and you beat it because it just defies gravity or rational or common sense. So the judge kind of see through it. Was speaking specifically about a case when at the court wherein police go on a warrant of you know what. When them go to execute the warrant of you know what, them claim say them see a group of men. When them see the group of men, the man them run. One specific person that is supposed to have been the target. The man run. Run left the police. Run in our yard. Escape. could have run through the back, jump over the fence, gone about him business. However, what he did, based on what the police report said, is that him run from the police, get to a scot-free, then run go in a house, run go search for him tool, dig it up from under the foul cub, I am just exaggerating, and then run come back to the front gate and in a pie with the police. Now when me talk, people always say, boy, you're so anti-police, you're agent for real, based on Mr. Lyad. Well, you and I know that all of that has been debunked. All of that tells who is a liar and who's been telling truth from day one. Some just say, that make any kind of sense to you. First thing first, one thing we know about thief, them fast, like 100, you know what, Shibada and them friend them. So therefore, if you outrun the police, and you know say you're hot or you wanted, or you're among some people you're hot and wanted, you know exactly what is going to go down. You know exactly the odds whenever there's any sorts of challenge between the police and the men that are gangsters or gunmen, wanted men done. The police is batting 100%. Rare cases that you see the police lose. The police always seem to have the angle, and them people always have the blade. Them always end up down a Shit's Creek, meaning the afterlife without a paddle. Can't save themselves. So why would you get to a scot-free, run go search for toll, and come back and confront the police? That makes sense to anybody. People, I just say, certain things are common sense, and whenever you hear foolishness over and over, you should at least be able to recognize that say these are really cliche script. These police are really lying, and they're lying and they're getting away with it. However, persons are actually losing their life that have nothing to do with nothing, getting framed after getting taken out in a very unjust way, then them reputation stain. Gone to the afterlife as a bad man or gunman. In this case, I am not saying that that man is not guilty or was not guilty of something. However, here's the truth and reality in the garrison. Sometimes, if you not run, you might get gunned down by the police because they might look for X and find Z. Somebody have to go. That is what is going on. These warrants of DEATH that you hear me speak about, they are real. Nobody can contest that. Nobody can deny that. Well, they will deny. But you and I know it is quite obvious what is going on. The police, some of them are rogue, and I understand desperate times calls for desperate measure. So therefore, whatever win we can get, we'll take the win. However, not at the expense of innocent people. Not in these police that is always going to these courts and blowing the case because I'm either exaggerate, OC, lie, big time, point blank, and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like these, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. Bless up.